of travelling after the age of 70 can be an incredible experience, but it also comes with hidden risks that many seniors overlook until it is too late. What starts as a dream vacation can quickly turn into a stressful and even dangerous situation if you're not fully prepared. In today's video, we are going to reveal 5 major risks that seniors face when travelling. These are not just minor inconveniences. They can have serious consequences for your health, safety, and finances. The final risk on our list is something most travellers never think about, but it could end up costing you thousands of dollars. So, if you want to travel with confidence, avoid unexpected problems and truly enjoy your adventures. Stay with us until the end. Also, if you find this information helpful, let us know by leaving a comment saying, "I am ready." Now, let's get started. Risk 1. Health emergencies and medical complications. Travelling is one of life's greatest joys, but after the age of 70, even a minor health issue can quickly become a serious emergency. The reality is that as we age, our bodies respond differently to stress, climate changes, and physical exertion. What once felt like an easy trip can suddenly become exhausting, and conditions that seem manageable at home can escalate unexpectedly while travelling. One of the biggest health risks for senior travellers is deep vein thrombosis, DVT, which occurs when a blood clot forms in the legs after long periods of sitting, such as on a plane or a long bus ride. If that clot moves to the lungs, it can cause a pulmonary embolism, a life-threatening condition. Unfortunately, many people do not realise they have DVT until they experience symptoms like swelling, leg pain, or shortness of breath, often when it's already serious. Another risk comes from altitude and climate changes. Air travel exposes your body to lower oxygen levels and dry cabin air, which can make breathing difficult, especially for those with heart or lung conditions. If you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or respiratory issues, flying can put extra strain on your body. Similarly, travelling to high-altitude locations such as mountainous areas can cause dizziness, headaches, and even oxygen deprivation. But perhaps the biggest challenge is access to medical care. At home, if you feel unwell, you know exactly where to go. Your local doctor, your trusted pharmacy, and a nearby hospital covered by your insurance. When you're in a foreign country or a remote location, however, getting medical treatment is not as simple. Some hospitals may lack modern equipment, and in many places doctors do not speak English. Even worse, many seniors assume their regular health insurance will cover them abroad, but most domestic plans do not include international medical emergencies. That means a sudden illness or injury could result in a hospital bill costing tens of thousands of dollars. Now imagine this. James, a 74-year-old retiree, booked a dream Caribbean cruise with his wife. He was in good health, active, and excited about the trip. But just 4 days into the cruise, after a day in the sun, James began to feel a sharp pain in his chest. At first, he dismissed it as heartburn, but when the pain spread to his arm and he began sweating profusely, he knew something was wrong. His wife rushed him to the ship's medical centre, but the onboard doctors didn't have the equipment to properly diagnose a heart attack. They called for an emergency helicopter evacuation, but due to weather delays, James had to wait hours before reaching a hospital. He survived, but instead of enjoying his vacation, he spent the rest of the trip recovering and received a hospital bill that exceeded $20,000. How to stay safe. Schedule a full medical checkup before travelling to ensure you're fit for the trip. Bring extra medication in case of delays and keep a list of your prescriptions and medical history. Move around frequently during flights to reduce the risk of blood clots. Stand up, stretch, and walk every hour. Research hospitals at your destination so you know where to go in an emergency. Most importantly, purchase travel insurance that covers medical emergencies, hospital stays, and medical evacuations. Being prepared can make all the difference between a smooth trip and a medical crisis. Have you ever experienced a health scare while travelling? Share your story in the comments below. Now, let's move on to the next risk. Risk 2. Exposure to infections and contaminants. Travelling opens the door to new experiences, but it also exposes you to countless germs, viruses and bacteria, especially in crowded places like airports, airplanes, hotels and public areas. Transportation and infections. A hidden risk for senior travellers. For younger travellers, a mild cold or stomach bug might be a minor inconvenience. But for seniors, an infection can lead to serious complications, prolonged illness, and even hospitalisation. Wear a high-quality mask in crowded areas like airports, buses, and tourist attractions to reduce exposure to airborne germs. Wash your hands frequently with soap and carry hand sanitizer for when sinks are unavailable. Avoid touching your face after being in public spaces to prevent bacteria from entering your system. Stick to bottled or purified water, even for brushing your teeth, and avoid drinks with ice made from tap water. Be cautious with food choices. Avoid raw or undercooked foods, and choose restaurants with good hygiene ratings. Bring travel-friendly medications, including anti-diarrheal pills, probiotics and electrolyte packets in case of food-related illnesses. A little preparation goes a long way in preventing infections and ensuring a smooth trip. Have you ever gotten sick while travelling? Let us know in the comments. Now, let's move on to the next risk. Risk 3. Travel fatigue and recovery challenges. Travelling is supposed to be an enjoyable experience, but for many seniors, it can quickly become exhausting. Long flights, early morning departures, crowded airports, and busy sightseeing schedules can take a toll on the body. Unlike younger travellers who can bounce back after a good night's sleep, seniors often take longer to recover from fatigue. Prolonged exhaustion can lead to weakened immunity, confusion, and a higher risk of illness or injury. One of the biggest causes of travel fatigue is disrupted sleep. Sleeping in an unfamiliar hotel bed, dealing with noisy surroundings, or adjusting to a different time zone can make it difficult to get proper rest. Jet lag, especially when travelling across multiple time zones, can throw off your body's internal clock for days or even weeks, leading to poor concentration, irritability, and difficulty enjoying your trip. Another major factor is physical strain. Many people underestimate how much walking, standing, and navigating new environments can wear them out. Museums, historic sites, and guided tours often require long periods of standing or walking on uneven surfaces. For those with arthritis, back pain, or mobility issues, this can quickly lead to soreness, swelling, and an increased risk of falls. The hidden toll of exhaustion. Imagine this. Richard, a 75-year-old retiree, had always wanted to visit Europe. He and his wife planned a 2-week tour covering 6 cities, excited to see as much as possible. However, the trip involved multiple flights, train rides, and hours of sightseeing each day. By the 3rd day, Richard was completely exhausted. His legs ached from walking on cobblestone streets, his back hurt from carrying luggage, and he found himself too tired to enjoy the sights. Halfway through the trip, he caught a cold, which worsened due to lack of rest. By the time he adjusted to the time zone, it was already time to return home. Instead of feeling refreshed, he spent the next month recovering from his vacation. How to stay safe and energized, plan a slower itinerary with fewer destinations and more rest days in between activities. Book comfortable accommodations in quieter areas to ensure better sleep. Schedule flights and transportation at reasonable hours to avoid early morning departures and late night arrivals. Build flexibility into your travel plans and don't feel pressured to see everything at once. Travel should be a source of joy, not stress, and pacing yourself can help you stay healthy and make the most of every moment. Arrivals, hydration, and smart habits. Stay hydrated and eat nutritious meals to maintain energy levels throughout your journey. Wearing comfortable, supportive shoes can help reduce foot and joint pain, especially after long flights or sightseeing excursions. If you're adjusting to a new time zone, take short naps when needed, but try not to oversleep during the day so you can acclimate faster. Travel should be enjoyable, not exhausting. Have you ever felt completely drained after a trip? Share your experience in the comments below. Risk 4. Higher risk of falls and injuries. As we age, our balance, reflexes and muscle strength naturally decline, making falls one of the most serious risks for senior travellers. A small misstep that might have been minor in younger years can lead to fractures, sprains, or even long-term mobility issues. Unfamiliar environments, such as uneven sidewalks, steep staircases, or slippery hotel floors, greatly increase the likelihood of accidents. Many popular travel destinations, especially historic cities, have cobblestone streets, poorly lit alleyways, or buildings without elevators. Tourist attractions like castles, ancient ruins, or scenic hiking trails often lack proper handrails or smooth walkways. Even cruise ships, while convenient, pose hazards such as moving floors, wet decks, and narrow hallways. Fatigue also plays a major role. When the body is tired, balance and coordination suffer, increasing the chance of a fall. Seniors with arthritis, osteoporosis, or mobility issues are at even greater risk. And unlike at home, where medical help is readily available, getting proper treatment abroad can be delayed or complicated. The real dangers of a fall. While travelling, imagine this. Linda, a 78-year-old woman, had always enjoyed walking around her neighbourhood without any issues. When she travelled to Italy, she was excited to explore the charming streets of Florence. But on her second evening, while walking down a dimly lit alley, she misjudged a curb and fell hard onto the cobblestone pavement. She immediately felt sharp pain in her hip. Bystanders helped her up, but she couldn't walk without assistance. She was taken to a local hospital where X-rays revealed a hip fracture. Linda had to cut her trip short, undergo emergency surgery in a foreign country, and spend months recovering once she returned home. A trip she had dreamed about for years turned into a painful and expensive ordeal that permanently affected her mobility. How to stay safe and prevent falls. Choose travel destinations with good accessibility. Look for hotels with elevators, ramps, and smooth walkways. Wear sturdy, supportive shoes with non-slip soles to improve stability. Be mindful of your energy levels. Fatigue increases the risk of falling, so take breaks and avoid overexertion. Use a walking aid if needed. A collapsible cane or walking stick can provide extra stability when navigating uneven terrain. Stay in well-lit areas and watch your step, especially at night. Avoid walking in poorly lit streets or unfamiliar areas. Lastly, consider travel insurance that covers injuries and emergency medical treatment. A single fall can have long-lasting consequences, but with the right precautions, you can stay safe and enjoy your travels. Have you ever experienced a close call or fall while traveling? Share your story in the comments. Risk 5. Financial risks and travel insurance gaps. When planning a trip, most people think about flights, hotels, and activities. But few consider the hidden financial risks that can turn an exciting vacation into a costly disaster. Medical emergencies, trip cancellations, lost luggage, or travel scams can lead to unexpected expenses that drain your savings. Without the right protections in place, what should have been a relaxing getaway can quickly become one of the most expensive mistakes of your life. For seniors, these risks are even greater. As we age, health becomes less predictable, the likelihood of trip disruptions increases, and scammers often see older travellers as easy targets. That's why understanding the financial side of travel risks is just as important as planning your itinerary. Medical bills abroad, a shocking reality. One of the most expensive mistakes a traveller can make is assuming that their health insurance will cover them internationally. Many seniors believe that their Medicare plan or private insurance will take care of any medical issues that arise while travelling. Unfortunately, this is rarely the case. For example, Medicare does not cover medical expenses outside the United States, except in very limited circumstances. Some Medicare supplement plans offer partial coverage, but it's often not enough to handle serious medical emergencies. Private health insurance policies may also exclude international coverage, leaving travellers responsible for the full cost of medical treatment abroad. This can be financially devastating. Consider these real-world costs. A hospital stay in Europe can range from $5,000 to $20,000, depending on the country and the length of stay. A medical evacuation, such as an air ambulance transporting you back home, can cost anywhere from $50,000 to $200,000, depending on distance and care required. Even simple treatments, like a broken bone or an infection requiring antibiotics, can cost thousands without insurance. The nightmare of trip cancellation. Seniors often plan their trips months or even a year in advance. But life is unpredictable. A sudden illness, a fall at home, or a family emergency could force you to cancel your plans at the last minute. The problem? Many travel providers have strict cancellation policies. Airlines may charge hefty fees for changing your flight or may offer only partial refunds. Hotels and cruise lines often have non-refundable deposits. Guided tours may require full payment upfront with no refunds for cancellations, even if you have a valid reason. Many seniors lose thousands of dollars on trips they never even take, simply because they didn't purchase proper trip cancellation insurance. Scams. That target senior travellers scammers are always looking for new ways to take advantage of tourists, and unfortunately, older travellers are often seen as easy targets. Whether it's a fake hotel listing, an overpriced taxi ride, or a sophisticated online scheme, criminals prey on the trust and unfamiliarity of visitors. Some of the most common travel scams include fake vacation rentals. Scammers create listings for hotels or apartments that don't exist. Travellers book in advance, send money, and arrive to find they've been duped. Credit card fraud. Some criminals install fake ATM machines or card skimmers in high-traffic areas. Tourists unknowingly withdraw cash, only to have their accounts drained. Overpriced taxi rides. In many destinations, drivers overcharge visitors by taking longer routes or claiming the meter is broken. Free gifts and services. Tourists are approached with offers of free bracelets, roses or guided tours, only to be aggressively pressured into paying outrageous fees afterward. The story of George and the fake hotel. Imagine George, a 74-year-old retiree who found a beautiful apartment in Barcelona listed online at a great price. He booked the property and paid a deposit in advance. But when he arrived at the address, he discovered there was no apartment, just a residential building that had never heard of his reservation. George had to scramble to find new lodging, lost his deposit, and began his vacation stressed and frustrated. The story of George and the fake. Hotel. George, a 76-year-old retiree, had spent months planning his dream vacation to a tropical destination. He found what seemed like the perfect beachfront hotel through an online travel site. The photos were stunning, the price was reasonable, and the listing had several glowing reviews. Wanting to secure his spot, George paid for a non-refundable one-week stay in advance. But when he arrived at his destination, he was shocked to discover the hotel didn't exist. The address led to an abandoned building, and the customer service number he was given no longer worked. The website where he made the booking had vanished overnight. With nowhere to stay, George had to scramble to find a last-minute hotel, one that cost twice as much as his original booking. His dream trip began with stress, frustration, and a significant financial loss. Unfortunately, George's experience isn't unique. Fake travel listings and scams have surged in recent years, costing travellers millions worldwide. How to protect yourself from financial risks. Get comprehensive travel insurance. Look for a policy that covers medical emergencies, trip cancellations, lost luggage, and emergency evacuations. Check your health insurance policy. If your current plan doesn't cover international travel, consider purchasing supplemental travel health insurance. Book through trusted sources. Use reputable websites like Booking.com, Expedia, or official hotel sites. Avoid deals that seem too good to be true. Use credit cards with fraud protection. Many cards offer built-in travel insurance and fraud monitoring to help protect your money. Limit cash withdrawals and use secure ATMs. Be especially cautious of standalone ATMs in tourist-heavy areas. They're more likely to be tampered with. Be wary of unsolicited offers. If someone approaches you with a deal that sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Final thoughts. Travel smart, stay safe. Traveling after 70 isn't just about seeing new places. It's about making memories, experiencing new cultures, and enjoying the freedom you've worked so hard for. But as we've discussed, travel at this stage of life comes with unique risks. From health emergencies and infections to exhaustion, injuries, and financial scams, being unprepared can turn an exciting trip into a stressful or even dangerous experience. The good news? These risks can be managed with the right precautions. By planning ahead, understanding your physical limits, and protecting yourself financially, you can travel with confidence and peace of mind. Before your next adventure, get a full medical checkup and pack all necessary medications. Invest in comprehensive travel insurance. Plan a slower, more comfortable itinerary with time to rest. Stay alert to scams and book only through reputable sources. Choose accessible, senior-friendly destinations. Remember, travel should be enjoyable, not exhausting. The key is not to stop exploring, but to explore wisely. We want to hear from you. What's the most important lesson you learned from today's video? Have you ever faced an unexpected challenge while traveling? Share your experience in the comments below. If you found this information helpful, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you never miss our latest tips for smart and safe senior living. Thank you for watching, and safe travels, and safe.